Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Shout out to everybody. I'm sorry. Wim. I know y'all are still waiting. I do apologize. I am sorry. I have an appointment with Mickey Mouse in a couple of hours. Yo, I had to get my drink and I had to get everything going. Um, I had to find, first of all, let me go to BJ's GoFundMe, her legal defense fund that she has had and has kept going. Of course, for those that don't know, this is it right here. Um, it'll tell you how much she has raised. We have a goal of 50,000. We're almost there. Hopefully, we can get there soon. And I think that by my talking of this lawsuit, this can be helpful to that. In the course of searching for the truth, sometimes people don't want you to find it. So they try to stop you from talking about it. A major way that powerful and rich people shut down. Hold up, y'all. Gotta take a drink. Shut down dissent is by abusing the legal system with frivolous and meritless lawsuits in hopes that they can terrify you or bankrupt you into submission. This fund is to counteract exactly that type of behavior. 100% of the funds donated will go directly to future legal funds. Thank you so much for your support. Any support that you can offer, okay? And so everybody, the legal defense fund is in the description box. If you find it in your heart to send $1, however much you are asked, you feel like sending, that would be amazing. Shout out to you guys. So you guys know, give you guys a little bit of a backstory to the situation. It's been a minute since we've done a Lima Jevremovic BJ lawsuit, video. It's been a while. The last time we did one, I want to say was maybe 2 months ago, and we were talking about BJ firing her attorney. And BJ, the message is how she fired her attorney. She feels like her attorney maybe didn't inform her well. I'm not really sure. So she was pretty mad. Lima was, excuse me. Lima was mad with her attorney. And so she decides to fire the attorney. And there were some messages that were submitted in there. Slimy Lima bean. All right. But before we get started, I do want to say something because we're talking about a person that has amended the complaint and has continuously resent it over and over to figure out if she can, I don't know, shape the narrative, do something different. And this is basically a document, a motion, defendants memorandum of law in support of their motion to dismiss plaintiff's fourth amended complaint. Okay. So BJ's attorneys have been working, shout out to them, have been working really hard to basically, be done with this. BJ has been, there have been restraining orders, people that have gathered together to write statements, and they've added me to one specific statement that I was like, what the, like, I have nothing to do with this. I'm literally just reporting on the lawsuit. But this just tells you how above and beyond people will go to shut someone down. And it's so crazy because the woman by the name of Jamie Gilmore, who essentially donated money to the legal fund, and then I don't know, I guess changed her mind. To me, she seemed like she was an operative to a certain degree. Then starts, I guess, communicating with the other side that's, suing BJ. And we have all these recordings, and she's basically lying on legal docs saying that I did this or that BJ did this, that people have done this, and that BJ has set people up to go and find Lima Jevremovic. A bunch of lies. Look, I've reviewed lawsuits before. I have reviewed lawsuits before on this channel. And never in my life have I seen a lawsuit situation where people will lie on like a legal document and submit lies on a legal. Never, never, never. Lima should be sanctioned every time she files these frivolous lawsuits. Okay. So for the record, and thank you, Wimmy, for gifting memberships. If you guys got memberships, please put a heart in the chat for Wimmy Wim Wim. Thank you, Wim. Hearts for you. Thank you. For the record, and I want to be very, very clear, okay? Please do not contact people involved. Please do not contact people involved. Let me make sure I put a little disclaimer here. Do not contact any persons or subjects discussed on this channel, on this live stream. That includes Lima. I am merely reviewing a lawsuit that is of public information. Lima, nobody here is harassing you. Nobody here is contacting you. We desire no contact, no nothing with you or anything like that. I am just a commentary channel giving commentary about a very public thing. Okay? Y'all? Neither have I, Don. Neither have I. And people were basically getting together to try to take BJ down. People were infiltrating. It looks like there was a Discord that was infiltrated. There were things that were infiltrated to try to get to BJ. And BJ wasn't really, she was just doing what she had to do. I remember because, living this, kind of watching a lot of this go down. She couldn't talk about the case. And yet there were a lot of things that were happening and she couldn't talk about the case. It was just kind of like, I'm sure that was probably very hard for BJ because, I mean, nobody wants to be silenced, right? To have a bunch of people coming after your name, to have trolls everywhere coming after you. You had a person who stole her LLC, like her name. And I was like, oh my God. And then that person was also filing private, privacy complaints on my channel because I used a picture that the Daily Mail had used, very public. And a lot of this stems from, thank you so much, love. A lot of this stems from, the coverage of exposing what was going on with Lima Jevremovic, bringing justice to Amanda RAB, talking about Bam Margera. These are things that were of public interest. And just, it's been a couple years now and it continues to happen. There are people that are really upset with BJ for whatsoever reason. That's fine. That's on them. But it should tell you that people are willing to lie on your name and put misinformation and lie at court to bring you down. There was that attorney with the crazy ass eyebrows who represent, like, it's just so much. I couldn't believe it watching it play out. And then I got involved too. I was put in that damn court paperwork that I had something to do or and that never happened. And she signed that declaration under penalty of perjury. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. People will do what they have to do to take you down. That's what they'll do. Okay, so let's get it together. I'm going to do my best to read this document. I'm still trying to get over whatever the crap I've been dealing with for the last month. I actually need to make a doctor's appointment this week, so hopefully we'll get that checked out because I still feel like I'm like under the weather one way or another, but I'm going to take breaks, so I'm going to do what I have to do. Now, again, this is a document that was submitted by BJ's attorneys. Now, there's another document that I want to pull too. Hold up, y'all. And it is, oh, okay, it's like the same. Hold up. This is there is I think it's 39 pages or 29 pages. We'll review some of them. We won't review all of it because a lot of it we've already covered. But this is notice of defendant's motion to dismiss plaintiff's fourth amended complaint. Now, the reason why I think the narrative of this is very important is because literally it is telling everybody, it's telling the public that all of these amended complaints, the second, third, because a judge wrote an opinion about BJ's lawsuit with Lima. It's interesting how I guess Lima is now writing her own lawsuits too because she doesn't have an attorney. So she is going to people's comments and she's cherry picking comments and then she's kind of like running with like a narrative. And the reality is this, hurt feelings in comments. And let me tell you, I get my feelings hurt all the time. There's people that say a lot of bullshit about me and my fifis get hurt. They do. I may cry about it sometimes. But then I'm like, well, fuck it. They're entitled to their own opinion. Like, what am I can't control the internet. I can't control the narratives as much as I want to control them. Thank you, Jill, for your $2 super sticker. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. Look who's here. Look at the queen. She has an attorney in this case. It's the Cali one. Okay, thank you so much. So in this specific case, she has an attorney, but it's the California case, right? That she does not. Pro se. Thank you, BJ. Y'all shout out to BJ. She's in the chat. Guys, drop some hearts for BJ. And please note, again, her legal fund is in the description box and pinned in the comments. Thank you. Laya Juju, thank you for the 5. Talking about this, considering what's happening to BJ is brave. I respect you for it. Oh, love you. Love you both, mean it. It's love you both, mean it. Thank you. Y'all drop some hearts for BJ. Thank you, BJ. And again, like, having seen what you've been through is just like wow. Like wow. And this is one, she had the celebrity defamation lawyer and the law school president repping for her, but they dropped her. It's crazy. That is crazy. BJ, I'm curious to know, like, I know that there's only so much you can say about a lot of this. If I drop the link for you or send you the link, do you want to talk about it a little bit, or what are your thoughts? I mean, it completely up to you, because I know, you're a busy lady and you got a lot of stuff to do. And I was doing this as a pre-recorded, but then I was like, the people need to know and react with this with me. And I by no means am no lawyer, and I know that I have a lot of supporters that are. But completely up to you. The link is in the chat if you want to come up and have a few words to say about this. Or if you can't, completely understand. You said I love BJ, and any person thank you. Any person can end up like BJ. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I'll do that then. So let me do this. And I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but I will give, because I did read it last night and I was like, oh my God, there's just so much to this. And her ability to just kind of, I guess, rewrite the narrative. It's a lot of feelings to this. And so let's get to it. All right. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. All right. So please take notice that for all the reasons set forth in the attached memorandum of law in support of defendant motion to dismiss plaintiff's fourth amended complaint, defendant Brittany Corville, that's Price Witness TV, shall move before the honorable judge, and I cannot say his last name, so please forgive me, in the United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. Okay. And all of this on the date of January 6, 2025, or as soon after as counsel may be heard, for an order dismissing all counts, allegations against contained in plaintiff's fourth amended complaint with prejudice. Now, with prejudice, meaning she can't refile. That's my understanding of with prejudice. And this is a part that I'm like, if this was happening in California, which, it has happened in California, I know that there's a thing in California where you can add somebody as a vexatious litigant, right? If they keep refiling things, if they're doing it in like in a malicious way, and they're using the judicial system to attack people, they can do that. So she can be added to a list. Lawyers can be added to a list. And it's not just lawyers, but like regular people that have used the California judicial system that way. Now, I don't know about other states, but I know about California because I've known of some cases where that has happened. Okay, so here we go. Hold up. This is not it. Let me pull the other one. Yada, yada, yada. Hold up. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Here it is. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Let's get this going. Let's get this party started. Okay, here we go. Plaintiff Lima Jevremovic and autonomous ARA have twice tried their luck on the defamation claims before this court to no avail. This court twice dismissed plaintiff's defamation claims on two independent grounds, finding that the challenge statements were protected opinion and that plaintiff failed to allege particularized facts satisfying the high bar for actual malice. Yet, even with the benefit of amending their pleading, plaintiff have failed to cure these defects. Well, at first glance, the fourth amended complaint, the FAC. So we're going to hear me say FAC a lot because it stands for the fourth amended complaint, appears extensively marked up from the prior version. The changes are overwhelmingly cosmetic. You know, when he says this, it makes me think of somebody grabbing a red pen and marking up like, this is what you need to put here, this is what you need to add here, this is what you need to do here. Oh man, shout out to my grammar school teachers. Shout out to everybody. Yes, hit that like. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all. Here we go. The FAC either repeats verbatim or simply repackages the substance of previously alleged challenge statements, necessitating dismissal for the same reason. No matter how plaintiff tries to repurpose the same allegations, the pleading still glaringly lacks the plausible factual allegations necessary to support plaintiff's claims. In dismissing the third amended complaint, this court cautioned plaintiff that a failure to cure the defects noted in this opinion may lead to dismissal with prejudice. The FAC failed to cure the defects and failed to state a claim, so it should be dismissed with prejudice. Now, this is giving me PTSD because I remember when we were reading that freaking 300 plus page lawsuit that it was like, well, it was only 300 pages because of the exhibits. And it was like exhibit I, exhibit D, B, A, B, C, D, E. Like it was just added stuff. And it was just a little like it was screenshots of things. And it was very much like an argument that BJ did X, Y, and Z. I still remember that. I mean, it took up a lot of space in storage. I'm going to say that. It did. By way of background, ARA offers mental health treatment services for substance abuse disorders. Jevremovic, its founders and CEO, plaintiff have co-opted extensive media opportunities to market ARA, thereby inviting the scrutiny of millions of viewers. But when confronted with criticism or an unflattering opinion, plaintiff seeks to suppress that opinion with litigation. This is such a case, and it concerns a handful of posts by defendant Brittany Corville on social media, including an Instagram and YouTube, raising concerns and expressing her opinion about ARA and Jevremovic practices, primarily as they relate to the treatment of two ARA clients, celebrity Bam Margera and Amanda RAB, a homeless, drug-addicted woman who died while using ARA services as part of court order treatment. Yeah, the website promoted itself as being like being able to treat schizophrenia, being able to treat, like I remember the little, I don't even know, I haven't checked the website in a while, but I remember that that's what it was promoting itself to be. And being able to address certain issues by putting on these, like, I don't know, AI goggles, glasses, whatever, interactive reality, virtual reality thing. And then they would put it on, right? And I mean, we've seen so many of these videos covered by BJ. And the thing is that something like mental health, I mean, my biggest concern was whether this was just addressing the side effects, but not the underlying issue. And I mean, none of this is a cure whatsoever, but she did that. And so I did feel like she didn't want any criticism. The other concerning thing for me was that if you are creating and, partnering with other mental health institutions for this, and you want them to use this device, whatever it is, there should be some studies behind this. There should be something that supports this type of therapy, for clients specifically. I remember specifically that there was this like, even checking on her background should not be that hard. I have been doxxed so many times online, right? But in my doxing, one thing you will find is that I have a master's in social work. You'll find where I went to school. You'll find a picture of me graduating from the university because I happen to, make it on their advertisement thing, right? You'll find information about my education, but I couldn't find shit on this woman. I couldn't find anything. I still can't find like why she got to speak at Yale. Y'all remember that when there was this picture of her speaking at the podium at Yale? Anyway, so there was a lot. It was a lot of sketchiness. And you would think that somebody who is an innovator in this technology, that there would be more information out there about her. You can't even find out where she graduated high school or if she did. It was interesting, but yeah. Mhm. Cordial statements made on informal channels, repeated with hyperbolic language, cannot be defamatory simply because plaintiffs do not like Corville's opinion or because they are unflattering. Instead, the statements are valid expressions about matters of public concern, which are wholly protected by the United States Constitution. Indeed, one New Jersey court, quoting the New Jersey Supreme Court, went so far as to express its profound concern with the chilling effect that plaintiff's lawsuit in these rather unremarkable circumstances may have on other citizens who would ordinarily speak on behalf of what they perceive to be the public good, noting that courts are extremely loath to discourage that robust and uninhibited commentary on public issues that is part of our national heritage. Okay, and this is a quote. Plaintiff renew their defamation-based claims in the FAC and even added a handful of additional allegedly defamatory statements. However, these claims continue to suffer from the same pleading defects. This court found warranted dismissal of the prior two complaints. Specifically, this court's grounds for finding that the challenge statements constituted protected opinion remains unaffected by the FAC because the specific contextual elements the court found suggestive of opinion statements are unchanged. Plaintiff also added allegations showing comments made by a cherry-picked handful of Corville's audience that, according to plaintiff, suggest viewers understood Corville's statement as fact, not opinion. But this self-serving interpretation of these comments ignores that those allegations suggest only that viewers simply agree with the opinion of Corville provided. The remaining additional allegations of plaintiff added in the FAC are simply repetitive of allegations that this court already considered and rejected. I'm so glad that he's writing this. So it's like you already tried it. Your allegations are repetitive. You tried it before. Okay. Yeah, for those that are coming in, we are talking about a lawsuit that we've talked about before. And That's a Price Witness TV. BJ Investigates was sued by a woman by the name of Lima Jevremovic. That's a Price Witness TV did a lot of exposures on Aura, the company that is run by Lima Jevremovic. Lima Jevremovic did not like that, and she decided to sue BJ. Okay, that's a Price Witness TV. And in her lawsuit, it was an attempt to basically bankrupt her, silence her. There are still people out there that are defaming her, harassing her. I mean, BJ, if you go look at BJ's videos, you will see a crazy shitload of things that have happened throughout the time that this lawsuit has been going on. All the ways Lima was caught in the documents trying to manipulate the system, attempting to use an expired Marchman Act on BAM, shows that she is shady and will lie. Allegedly, and in my opinion. Okay? Allegedly, in my opinion. All right? And I know that Lima and or company and minions like to watch this. Again, I will repeat, please do not contact any person or subjects discussed on this channel, on this live stream. This is my opinion. All right? That's all. That what I've experienced and what I've seen as an observer, BJ experience. Okay. Yes, BJ has a target due to conservatorship interest. She does. She really BJ has a target on her back. She since forever. I mean, people are watching everything that she says and everything that she does. People have contacted me. Let me tell you, this is so crazy. Like people, what happened to that fucking documentary, the Hot Snakes documentary? That's just like, did it ever get released? People get hired to do documentaries on people. People have been trying to expose BJ through documentaries and everything. And I'm just like, y'all, like, what is going on? What is going on? In my opinion, Lima, you need Jesus. There you go. Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's keep going. And as you can see, the banner stays up because we're just reading a lawsuit. That's all we're doing. Okay. Um, This court also previously dismissed the defamation claims because plaintiff failed to allege particularized allegations showing that Corville actually entertained serious doubts or any doubts at all as to the veracity of the challenge statements. And there are no such particularized allegations in the FAC. Plaintiff continued to rely on conclusory, I can never say this word, conclusory allegations and vague insinuations of improper motives and financial bias. But as this court already held, these are inadequate to demonstrate that Corville actually entertains serious doubt as to the veracity of her statements. And while plaintiffs are required to plead actual malice for each challenge statement, plaintiff only attempted to do so to one or two challenge statements. And even these allegations failed to meet the high standard for actual malice. This pleading failure provides a second independent ground for dismissing the FAC's defamation based claims. Wow. Shout out to BJ's attorneys because it's very well written. I mean, it's explaining everything that has happened, right? Like, she didn't defame you. She didn't defame you the first time. You're trying it. You're rewriting things. Jevremovic, but not Ara, also adds a handful of new allegedly defamatory statements, some of which are substantively, and I know, hold up, y'all. Substantively, that's how you say that word. Substantively identical to those in the dismissed prior complaints and necessitate dismissal for the same reasons. In addition to the protected opinion and actual malice deficiencies, the additional challenge statements are also variably, not possibly, alleged to be false, not capable of defamatory meaning, and or they are statements of pure conjecture. And because false light and defamation claims are subject to the same considerations, plaintiffs' false light claims fail. Jevremovic remaining claims are based on allegations that defendant published Jevremovic and others' private information. Jevremovic fails to cure the defects that led the court to dismiss these claims. Jevremovic realleged claims for intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress, but fails again to plead specific, severe psychological harm caused by highly offensive conduct. Jevremovic also realleged a claim for intrusion upon seclusion, but in the FAC, Jevremovic does not allege that the disclosed information was not publicly available, nor does she plead that the information was wrongfully obtained. Finally, Ara purports to bring tortious interference claims, but fails to identify any specific contracts or investors with whom defendants interfere, let alone that defendants were the cause of such investor problems. Let me just say this. When I first read this part yesterday, I was like, all right, I love you, BJ attorneys, but don't help the girl, all right? Do not help the girl. Because they're telling her everything that she did wrong. And I'm just like, you don't got to tell her all that. She just fucked up. That's it. She did wrong. She fucked up. You don't got to tell her everything. Because I was reading this and I said, no, BJ's attorneys, listen, y'all are too good. Don't tell her where she messed up. Because when I read this, I literally was like, oh, great. Now she's going to submit another one and try to add all this in here. Thank you. Yeah, don't help her at all, please. I literally was rereading this and I said, listen, BJ's attorneys, shout out to you, but don't help her. Don't help her. She got to figure this shit out on her own. Don't help her attorneys. No. Mm-mm. That's my thought on that. Okay. Just letting you know my reaction initially when I read that. Anyways, let's keep going. Hold up. Okay. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Jevremovic remaining claims are based on allegations that defendant published Jevremovic and others' private information. Make sure I'm unmuted. Thank you. Okay, I'm reading the comments. I need to stop reading the chat, y'all. Shout out to you guys. Jevremovic failed to cure the defects that led the court to dismiss these claims. Jevremovic realleged claims for intentional and negligent. Did I read this part? No, I didn't. For intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress, but fails again to plead specifics. Okay, yes, I did read this part. Finally, ARA purports to bring, yes, I read this part. Let's go down. Plaintiff have now failed 3 times to meet their pleading burden. For these reasons, as more fully set below, defendants respectfully request dismissal of the FAC with prejudice. Okay, 3 times. Listen, not that the court is going to listen to anything that I have to say, but like, why is a person allowed to file so many times? And like, this is the 3rd time. There's been an opinion written about this. I remember that. There has been so much, like, I'm just like, why are they allowed to refile? There needs to be a cap in this. Okay. Especially now knowing that this is the New Jersey one and there's an attorney behind this, not the one in California. There needs to be something else behind this. Does anyone believe that Ivan is really divorced? Oh, I don't know. Ronnie, listen, I don't know anything about that. I heard. Yeah, and this is the actual 4th. Thank you, Simply Monica. Look, I heard that there was something about that. It's vexatious as AF for sure. But to me, it's like, why is she allowed to file this many? Like, she shouldn't be. In my opinion, she shouldn't be allowed to file this many. It's taking time, money, and it's abusive. And I mean, I don't know. I wonder. I'm sure that that's something that BJ has to, decide on her own. But like, gosh, I would just be like, let me countersue at some point. But a lot of this, for sometimes it's like, for what reason? Like, I know a lot of this has to be emotionally taxing for BJ and family to have to deal with this. I know that it has to be emotionally taxing to deal with stuff like this, and then lawsuits after lawsuits, courts, and then people being recruited to help, allegedly, in my opinion, like this kind of stuff. But I mean, it's too much, And Ronnie, I heard a rumor, but I never really looked into it because, quite honestly, like, I really don't give a shit about, her personal life. I've never reported it. I do wonder, maybe a lot of this lawsuits might have caused a lot of that. Who knows? I'm not really sure. But you know what I mean? It is what it is. Thank you. Please hit the like button, please, and thank you. Something definitely needs to be done because this woman is out of control. Well, the court needs to put a stop to this. But I think that, BJ's lawsuit is an example of, like, I don't know. To me, this is like watching it play out, talking about it with you guys, having to refresh my memory. It's like, damn, really? This is the shit that can happen to any YouTuber. Any YouTuber. We have seen YouTubers, creators, public people use the judicial system to harm folks. Yeah. Okay, so the statement of facts, and I'll read some of this because it's very lengthy, but Jevremovic is the founder of CEO of ARA. We know this, provides mental health services, yada, yada, yada. ARA has engaged with celebrities, influencers, and persons in the public eye, develop a viral word-of-mouth buzzing sound. Yeah, I mean, I found out about ARA through, when Amanda RAB situation happened, and she had done some interviews with Soft White Underbelly, and then Amanda RAB, passed away. And then kind of seeing this, I found out about BJ through the email, the multiple emails that I got that I still remember till this day, and I still have. about this situation. And just one day I decided to talk about it. I don't know. It was like, I think it was like 2 emails. And usually the way I was, if I get 2 emails about the same topic, it's typically a sign to talk about something. So I don't know. People read each other's minds. So maybe the mothership contacted me at that time. Our motherships are communicating with each other, BJ. Shout out to you. Okay. In addition to providing services to celebrities, ARA's business model includes providing free of charge services to less fortunate individuals. In this vein, ARA provided its services to RAB, a homeless, drug-addicted woman. Jevremovic succeeded in obtaining court-ordered voluntary treatment for RAB, which ARA provided. And Lima tends to forget this part right here, especially unfortunately, Amanda RAB passed away on May 9, 2021. That this is part of the controversy, right? That Lima went on a public platform and told people how she uses this LP conservatorship situation. She said it within her own words. And what BJ did is play her own words and gave commentary to her own words. Didn't twist anything, gave commentary to what she said and how unfair and unjust it is to use the LP conservatorship to either make somebody go to jail or treatment, right? Like one or the other. You can't force people to do shit that they don't want to do, right? You just can't. A lot of us have probably been there, right? Where we've had a loved one that is in the throes of an addiction and you love them, but you can't always force them to get better. You can do whatever you can to make sure that you are a support to them and you're not enabling them. But sometimes people have to come to terms with their own stuff. Just like Bam Margera. Bam Margera, he's publicly talked about his things. He's got a treatment here and there. He's been sober and then he goes back to it. But it is not BJ's responsibility, nor is it, anybody's responsibility to treat a person. Not at all. Not at all. All right. Let's keep going. Okay. Corville is a self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist. Shout out to her with an active social media presence. Okay. Corville, which is BJ, has taken an interest in conservatorship cases and posts about her theories on Instagram and on her YouTube channel. One thing that BJ says all the time, and I'm skim reading through this, she says all the time, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know, girl. I wasn't there. I wasn't there, girl, but I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. She does that. Okay. This court relied on 2 independent grounds for dismissal of the complaint. So this is, they're telling us what the court did to basically initially dismiss this. The alleged defamatory statements were protected opinion, and plaintiff failed to adequately plead actual malice given that plaintiffs were limited purpose figures. As to the first grounds, this court held that context is critical in deciphering actionable opinion versus defamatory speech. Okay. And this court cited cases recognizing that internet forums are specifically designed for the publication of crowdsourced opinionated statements. Your Reddits, your IGs, your YouTube channels, crowdsourced opinionated statements. Okay. We're allowed to have an opinion. Okay. And in opinion, I love this statement that he makes here. He says, publications on such forums convey a strong signal to a reasonable reader that a statements are defendant's opinion and should not be given less credence than similar remarks made in others' contexts. Okay. Referencing, this is hold up. This is the shit that took me out yesterday. Referencing other critical contexts, the challenged statements, the court noted that Corville, in a satirical spirit, can be seen wearing either panda ears or bunny ears while making her statements. While a sparkling unicorn pinata rests prominently in the background. So BJ is, and they're outlining a lot of this is wait a minute, she got bunny ears and a sparkling unicorn pinata in the background. Does the pinata have a name? BJ, have you named that pinata? Let me know. Okay. They're cat ears. Are they cat? They said that they're panda ears and cat ears. She got bunny ears. Listen, I always thought that they were puffballs. I'm just saying. But it's funny how they highlighted a sparkling unicorn in the background. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know her name was. I see the whole time that I've been following this BJ, I didn't know that the unicorn's name was Alyssa. Alyssa, the assistant. All right, this right here took me out. I said they really wrote this, but I think it's perfect because it's like, yo, like, listen, this is a woman. Shout out to her, and it's I don't know, like BJ speaks to she has a huge following and an audience specifically that really respect your opinion and understand. And I mean, I've seen people say, damn, BJ, you were reading my mind at that time, or thank you for this information. I never thought of this YC, so it don't matter to me. Like, she could have bunny ears, panda ears, puffballs, whatever it is, but it's still very much unique. I love it. Shout out to her. Okay. So, Alyssa the Sparkly Pinata rests prominently in the background. Additionally, defendant's profile pic on her Instagram page is a photograph of her wearing pink fuzzy ball ear headbands and a tie-dye shirt, and includes her Instagram biography that she is a legal edutainer, not legal advice. Oh, she's got that everywhere on her, thumbnail, on her, what is it, videos and stuff like that. So, yeah, she definitely does. And finally, the court noted that specific language used by Corbell signals that she is merely expressing her opinions and theories, as she repeatedly refers to her opinions as theories, marked by language such as I think or it seems. Okay, the court held that all of this points to unactionable opinions. Okay, here we go. So, as to actual malice, and then they explain to us what malice is, this court made clear that the standard requires plaintiff to plead sufficient particularized facts. Seriously doubted the truth of her statements. Okay, sufficient particularized facts that Corville seriously doubted the truth of her statements. The court cautioned it is not enough to plead that Corville published statements without fact checking, without investigating, without interviewing those involved, with no regard for accuracy. Okay, against this legal backdrop, this court found plaintiff's actual malice allegation statements concerning motives and otherwise lacking factual support bare and conclusory. I don't know why that word is throwing me off, as this court found that plaintiffs do not point to any facts, circumstantial or direct, that demonstrate defendants entertain any serious doubts about the veracity of her statements made. Okay, so on September 11th, plaintiff filed their second amended complaint, superseded by a third amended complaint, adding 2 defendants and asserting an additional 8 cause of action. Now, let me just say this. When the filings of this stuff was happening, it was like right after another. That's why I say it was very strategic to keep her quiet. Okay. You had those filings, and then you had the filing of the restraining orders, different states, different things. You had Mr. Brian Kachar, who I like, why the hell would you file a privacy complaint on my channel for showing a very public photo that was on the Daily Mail? I'll never understand. You would have been better to just emailed me and said, hey, can you just remove my photo? I'm not trying to get involved, yada, yada, yada. I would have been like, sure, whatever, I'll remove the photo. Not a big deal, because, it is what it is. But it seemed very vindictive of you to have done that. And that's what I was like, damn, you are something else, sir. Mm-hmm. You said fine Lima for her waste of resources, please. It's a lot. Better late than never. Yes, everybody hit that like button, please, and thank you, guys. And again, let me stop right here and let me just say again, guys, the legal fund is in the chat. Check it out. If you got $1, she also has a Cash App. If Ahmad, Pika, if you can pull BJ's Cash App. I think she's got a Venmo and PayPal and all those good things. If you could put it in the chat. I forgot to pull those. I always forget one or the other. I'm sorry. But this is the link. Yes, please dismiss with extreme prejudice. Look at me, Tim. Was the fourth amended complaint dismissed with prejudice? Not yet. We're submitting, the attorneys just submitted this motion. So I just can't believe that we're over here at the fourth at this point, right? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. Let me keep going. On September 11th, 2023, plaintiff filed their second amended complaint, adding 2 defendants asserting an additional 8 counts. Okay. In its opinion dated August 30th, 2024, this court granted defendants' motion to dismiss on the same grounds as with the prior complaint. Specifically, the court held that plaintiff did not attempt to change the context of the challenge statements, and the challenge statements remain unactionable. Okay. So, again, she is not changing anything. Here we are, fourth. Like, what are we doing? Come on, court. The court dismissed the non-defamation claims for failure to state various elements of those claims, including to the alleged that information defendant purportedly disseminated was private and wrongfully obtained. I mean, she said a lot of shit about BJ doing X, Y, and Z. BJ showed it. She said, I didn't do this. This is what I did. This is how I moved. I never did X, Y, and Z. Didn't send anybody to go to her house. Like, there was so much back to this. Okay. To including to allege that information defendant purportedly disseminated was private and wrongfully obtained, and failure to allege that Jevremovic suffered severe psychological or physical harm as a result of defendant's extreme and outrageous conduct. Here's the deal, though. And this is because I know Lima and team watches a lot of this. Guys, it's very simple. Like, can you guys just say why you gave the wrong information about the way in which Amanda RAB died? I think that would be like, just, can you clear this? Can you clear this? Can you answer why there isn't enough information out there about Lima Jevremovic, given that she's running this company? Why is she a big, like, mystery, especially with so much information about, her connecting with celebrities and all these people? Can you explain why it's so hard to just find out who this person is? I'm sure that I'm sure I've been checked out. I'm sure y'all have checked into my background, who I'm married, where I live, and all this other stuff, what I have, all that shit, So it's like, why is it so hard to, like, did she graduate high school at the very bare minimum? She have an education? What is her specialty? Does she have a degree? Does she have any of this? If she doesn't, then say that. Like, what's the big deal? What is the big secret? They want to protect them. They have to protect themselves from nefarious action. I mean, that's what it seems like. You guys doing the way what you're doing has been, like, questionable. Okay. Let me see. And on October 23rd, 2024, plaintiff filed the FAC accepting the court's invitation to attempt to remedy the pleading deficiencies outlined in the second opinion. Okay. In the FAC, each plaintiff continues to bring a defamation claim that Jevremovic continues with the unrelated claims for false light. These defamation-based claims purport a rise from Corbill's statement on social media concerning topics. So, statements suggested that Jevremovic worked with RAB's father and a third party to procure treatment for RAB. Statements referring to Jevremovic's treatments of Miss RAB, including employment, a fundraising for Miss RAB's medical treatment. Statements referring to Miss RAB's cause of death. Statements vaguely referring to a criminal conspiracy and other types of improper conduct surrounding Mr. Margera's guardianship. Statements of concern over Ara's business practice. Jevremovic also realleged emotional distress and intrusion claims stemming from Corbill's purported release of her personal information. I wish I can allege that all the time, but it just doesn't work. Now, hold up, y'all. Let me do something real quick. Okay, well, I'm here. Shout out to everybody. Hold up, girl. Oh, that's hilarious. Here it is. Hold on. Let's see. Thank you. Argument: to survive dismissal, a complaint must contain more than an unadorned, the defendant's unlawful harm me accusation. Okay, I'm not gonna. So basically, here we have basically the claims outline. Plaintiff defamation claim must be dismissed. This is the argument, and so they get into each and every one on the grounds that the challenge statements were constitutionally protected and protected opinions, and the complaint filed to allege that Corville made the challenge statements with malice. Okay. The challenge statements in the FAC are still protected opinion at this court, as this court already found in dismissing the two prior complaints. They've already dismissed two. Can we just dismiss this one with prejudice? Can we just do it? Like, this is a waste of court's time. Statement of opinion are not actionable as defamation. Okay. And I'm kind of skimming through. And again, she has continuously failed to remedy this pleading defect. In dismissing plaintiff's claim in the original complaint, this court noted that context is critical in deciphering actionable opinion versus defamatory speech. We've read this earlier too. Plaintiffs have continuously failed to remedy this pleading defect. This is not surprising, given that there are no allegations that plaintiff could make that could change the fact that Corville made the challenge statements on social media platforms, or that she used satirical opinion language. And by the way, they do put a picture up here, which is what I love, to kind of outline just that language. Plaintiff still fails to adequately plead malice. Okay. So she's not making the argument. She's just not doing it. Okay. That's it. That's all. Hold up. Additional challenge statements are not defamatory. The things that it's like they're rewriting the things that they've already argued because she keeps using the same arguments. Legal standard for defamation claims. And then they outline all of them again. Shout out to BJ's attorney. Additional challenge statements regarding Amanda RAB. Okay. Look at this is what stood out to me too. They included this picture, and under it, because this is how BJ does her videos, she says, right? Hold up. Additional challenge statements regarding Amanda RAB. In the FAC, Jevremovic alleged two additional categories of defamatory statements regarding Jevremovic's relationship with Amanda RAB. First, Jevremovic alleged that it was defamatory for Corville to state in a YouTube video that Jevremovic conspired with Amanda RAB's father, Larry, and a documentary filmmaker, Mark Leda, to put RAB in jail prior to her LPS conservatorship. She did the video where she talked about the steps of doing conservatorship or jail, right? Like or treatment or jail, whatever it was. But the allegations in the FAC omit the crucial context in which this statement was made. Before Corville launches into her opinion about how RAB ended up in jail, the YouTube video screen turns black. So when Jevremovic is writing her amended complaints, she's not putting everything into context. And shout out to the attorneys for pointing this out. Turns the screen into black with a large all caps disclaimer. My understanding of the setup. Look at, there's BJ. In my understanding, which means the way I'm comprehending, in my opinion, that's what that means, right? And it appears on the bottom of the screen while Corville discusses her theory, signaling to the viewers her upcoming opinion, which plaintiff conspicuously left out of her screenshots to include in the FAC. Yeah, how conspicuously? Okay. And then Corville then details a series of facts, which Jevremovic does not allege to be false, that lead to her conclusion that Jevremovic and Larry RAB were together to get Amanda in jail prior to her conservatorship. If I am watching the interview where Larry RAB and Lima Jevremovic sat down together and they were talking about Amanda and helping her and, quote unquote, helping her, that would be my conclusion, that y'all sat together and basically got together to try to, quote unquote, help her, air quotes, whatever, help her. And this is what happened, right? That's what I would conclude too as a viewer, because I'm watching what you guys are saying. And so for BJ to make that opinion, it would be an opinion that I would have made as well, that a lot of us would have made as well. In that, she's no longer here. Why is she no longer here? Well, because y'all were trying to help her, right? Just saying. Exactly. I mean, it's up for interpretation. That's not against the law. And that's the whole thing. It's not against the law. Okay, hold up. Um, oh, I'm not worried about that, Angela, right now. I really don't give a shit about any of that. I don't care. Shout out to her. Fact saying defamation. Absolutely. Angela, I just saw it. I'm not worried about that lady at all. Okay. Let's keep going. So Larry Rabs were connected in an attempt to help get Rab into a conservatorship. And then Corbell showed her audience Jevremovic method for securing a conservatorship, displaying on the screen a screenshot of the ARA website on which Jevremovic publicized that one step of getting a loved one into conservatorship is to threaten an unaliving participant with conservatorship or jail. Perfect. There you go. That's Corville explained it to her audience that based on this clear website, Lima's MO is to force someone to choose between conservatorship or jail because plaintiffs do not allege that these are underlying facts are false. Corville's opinion reach from these facts that Rab's presence in jail prior to her conservatorship, given her unwillingness to enter treatment voluntarily, involves Jevremovic in some manner, is protected opinion. All of this is protected opinion. So then she is submitting this stuff again to try to argue additional challenge statements regarding Margera. Okay, there's that. So Jevremovic also alleged two categories of defamatory statements regarding Jevremovic relationship. First, Jevremovic merely adds more allegations in an attempt to support the argument that it was somehow defamatory for Corbell to say that Jevremovic had a conservatorship rather than a guardianship. Conservatorship, guardianship. Okay, how is that defamatory? This is not a new challenge statement. It was included in the original complaint. Anyways, let's keep going. And I'm only pulling stuff here because I'm a little bit pressed on time, y'all. Give me 1 second. Plaintiff's additional claims are inadequately pled and must be dismissed. They've been inadequately express, defended. Jevremovic emotional distress claims must be dismissed. That's right. This court previously deposed of Jevremovic emotional distress claims, quickly finding them particularly strained. Okay, as the court noted, intentional and negligent emotional distress claims require a plaintiff to plead emotional distress manifesting in physical or psychological, which is so severe that no reasonable man can be expected to endure. That's not it here, okay? She could have just done a state. I'm thinking of various ways she could have come back from this. She could have just answered various questions that the public had. She could have done a statement. She could have. It to me seems like Lima doesn't take feedback very well. And ARA torturous interference claims fail as a matter of law. So it goes into that. And again, let's go to the conclusion. For the reasons set forth herein, defendants respectfully request for the court dismiss plaintiff's Fourth Amendment complaint in its entirety with prejudice. That's the shortest conclusion ever. Sign, attorney. Shout out to the attorneys. It's sad to me that we're at the fourth. We're at the fourth. Yes, I'm not worried about any of that. Shout out to us. Thank you. We're at the fourth. Mm-hmm. Are we really at the fourth? Yes, we are. That's crazy, right? What are we going to do? I don't know. I am dropping the link for BJ. I don't know if she's got some words to say. I'm curious to know what her thoughts are. If she wants to come up, completely up to her. I know she's busy. Shout out to BJ. Lima's not transparent. People get very suspicious when they can't find information. Well, that's what I'm saying. People get very suspicious when they can't find information. The sun is hitting me right over here. Can y'all see it? Shout out to us. BJ's attorney is going to blah, blah, blah. Lima got nothing new to say. No, it's just a refiling. It's just like rewriting the complaints. That's all. She's just refiling this stuff. That's all she's doing. And so that's why I'm saying, like, we got to support BJ in her fight. But the thing is that if this can happen to her, this can happen to anybody, Kim says, I don't think her name is Lima. It probably is. It shouldn't be hard to find information about somebody. Isn't that something that we can find too? Like if somebody legally changed their name, like you could legally, find if a person changed their name and whatnot. BJ's attorneys, hold up, let me see what you guys are saying. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Yes. Oh, thank you for sharing the Cash App. Thank you so much. Pika Pika. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Um, Everything she does to me, I will say it. We will talk about those people, says Kim. Absolutely. What does BJ say? I'm gonna talk about everything that they done did to me. Everything. Everything. I dropped the link for BJ, so I don't know if she's gonna come up. Completely up to her. Maybe it's Mila because she likes anagrams. Maybe it's Mila? Not Lima? Anagrams? Really? I don't know. Yes, I did, love. I sent it to you on your IG. And then I sent it to you on I put it down here, but I can drop it again if you want me to. Hold up. Do. This link is for BJ only, y'all. Hold up. It's on the chat again. Let's see. There used to be this thing like yellow pages and phone books. That's right. There used to right. Remember that? There used to be this thing where you could just look up people on yellow pages. Now yellow pages, they don't even exist anymore, y'all. What are yellow pages? Do people okay, thank you, BJ. Do people even use do they still make phone books? Yellow pages? Hold up, let's Google that. Do they hold up. Do they make yellow pages? Oh yeah, somebody already Googled this. How do you like that? No way. Believe it or not, Yellow Pages still exists, but it's not primarily available, but it's now primarily available online. They still exist? Wow. That's crazy. You still have Yellow Pages in the UK? They're very small. It's a little off topic. It made me think of like we used to have I mean, because they deliver those to your door. You'd have like Yellow Pages, phone books, and stuff like that. Um, so they charge you for them. That's crazy. I remember the newspaper went out of business for a long, long time. Well, yeah, like the newspaper used to be a huge thing. We used to buy the newspaper all the time, and then it just went out of business. One of them did. One is still up and running, but yeah, it is. It really so in the UK there's still Yellow Pages, but a lot of it is online now, right? It's crazy. They're free in Germany. Mm. In Florida, I think they used to deliver them, and they're about 3 to 4 inches thick. Great booster seat, right? It's like a booster seat. That's it. That's all. Your boss had a paid prescription with them or use to for the internet book. We use lookup numbers a lot for employment verifications. Gotcha. Gotcha. Not in Canada. They put them in our mail free and unasked for them. But I actually found some. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yep. Whenever you would move, there would be just like a Yellow Pages at your door. That's right. People like my mom, my mother-in-law that doesn't have a cell phone. You still get Yellow Pages and Yellow Pages and phone books. See, the phone book part sounds like a waste of money. I'm not gonna like the phone book part, especially because you could like get phone numbers. This damn son, you can get phone numbers on on the internet. But the Yellow Pages, I just find that to be just so wasteful, y'all. Especially now. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. So Texas Chica says that our environmental club in the high school would go collect them from hotel and apartments to get money. Can y'all tell me why we got in the conversation about phone books and Yellow Pages? This generation doesn't even know, like the younger generation doesn't even know what a phone book is. Really? Yellow and white blue pages books. My city still delivers them. They still deliver them. The rural areas still have landlines. Do we still have booths? Let me know. Hi, lady. Hold up. Let me remove this. Hold up. Why am I'm struggling. How are you?
Good. Let me I'm gonna put in my whatever headphones.
Oh my god.
Okay.
How you doing?
Hello.
How are you?
Okay, I can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Good. Fine. Just I don't know. I've just been kind of like sleepy or something. How are
Yeah.
you?
I'm okay, just here, tired, sick. Still trying to get over. I need to go to the doctor because I'm still like I was sick and it just kind of comes back and forth, but it is what it is.
It's just that time of year too. Ugh.
It is. And everybody's bringing germs and everything from everywhere.
Mm.
So we have this Fourth Amendment dismissal complaint thing. Like, oh my God, why are we here? Why are we still on the fourth? Why can't they just dismiss it already? I don't get it.
I mean, I have theories. I think the most likely thing is just like the judge wanted to just make sure, like 100% sure of every possible argument, because just the way it is, and this is speculating, but just the way it is, I'm assuming like, he kind of like figured that it was going to get appealed. And it's an issue of like, First Amendment, which is like, if it does get appealed, like, hopefully this doesn't happen. But, like, let's say like, the cases that do make it to the Supreme Court, for example, are these like big constitutional issue type of cases, like First Amendment stuff. So maybe the judge is just like, wanted to make sure, like, if it got appealed, he had covered all his bases and showed his work, basically. I mean, I'm hoping that's explains it.
Yeah. I love at the very least reading this, it was just like repeating what she has continuously done in the other, and that's the thing that was like, okay, I feel like I read this already, but I think they're trying to drive their point that it's been filed before, it's been dismissed. Here we are again. It's been filed before, it's been dismissed. And she's just repeating a lot of these arguments. And that's what I'm like, wow. Okay. Well,
yeah. And like a big thing that my lawyers pointed out and argue is that, Lima based this complaint under the legal theory that like, it's new. Your Honor, you haven't decided on this stuff. This is new.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff they like included as supposedly new stuff, it was like already literally verbatim, already decided on. And so that's why my lawyers had to be like, they basically made a representation to the court. Like, look, this is new. And we had to show each and every time they said something was new, how it wasn't. So it's like, crazy making. Cause it's like, it's all stuff. Some of the stuff is just flat out like she's trying to argue it's defamation that I said a conservatorship and a guardianship is the same thing. A true statement. And that's defamation. Now, even if it wasn't a true statement, how many times has Lima publicly on people's channels said they were the same thing? Yeah. So how is it defamatory for me to repeat the same sentiment? Like, that's the thing. It's like, you sued me for saying something you said. Like a lot of the stuff I said, she sued me for, she said it.
But it's going above and beyond, like, the Jamie Gilmores, the other people that were involved. I was just taken back by that. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, the experts I've talked to, casually about this, who have dealt with cases like this, have all said, like, I have never seen anything like that, like them going that far. Like, yes, I've seen one element of that before, right? Or two, but like all of this, and then like the rapid fire litigation across the country, over here in California, but not telling me in enough time to get a lawyer in California.
Yeah.
At the same time, Brian Kuchar is trying to get a restraining order in Georgia in the same month that he had applied to have my business put in his name or whatever, like my business name in his name. Oh, and it just never stopped. It just never stopped.
How have you sustained yourself? Like, just like, what are you doing to take care of yourself when it comes to
the Lord?
It is Sunday.
Amen. I mean, Amen. I don't practice like a religion per se. I do think there's some truth in all of them. and I respect people's, right to
Opinions.
practice them and all of that. And I think there's profound wisdom, especially, I mean, they don't stick around this long if they're not something good about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
how fast are people willing to turn over a trend their parent had, So it's like, it sticks around. There must be something. But despite like aligning myself with the actual religion, I do want to align myself with the things that I think are like divine or like, I don't know, like morally right. And of course, I don't know, I don't have a rule book, but it just feels like, Amanda RAB. When I found the Amanda RAB story, the general story gist was she was a bleep addicted bleepstitute,
Yes.
crazy, thought
Yeah.
she was being cloned, thought she was being reproduced in virtual, whatever she said, 1,000 electronic me's, whatever she said, just crazy. And I knew that was not true.
Yeah.
She might have had been on some substances. She might have had been affected in some of those interviews, but she also wasn't 100% of the stuff coming out her mouth was false. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And I just, same with Bam, same with Brittany. I mean, I come across, and it happens with you too, right? You come across these stories and you're like, something is wrong. Something isn't right.
Yeah.
And then you start looking for answers. And the very next thing I find is, imagine when I saw that autopsy report for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm going to read word for word of what we got. Her cause of death was marked as a seizure disorder. It wasn't.
I can't with you.
There was no seizures anywhere. And it's like, how have I sustained myself? By saying, if not me, who? If not me, who? And if not taking a stand somewhere, what does that leave with? So what? We just got to just let them lie to our face.
Right.
And yeah, no, God, really, seriously, literally. Like, I think I'm doing this for a higher purpose. And a lot of times when I'm doing stuff, it doesn't even feel like I'm doing it. It feels like I'm just like trying to align myself with like the higher good for all of humanity and Mother Earth and all of it, everything. And I think that taking control over others is a violation of the natural order of things. I don't think that that's a natural way to live, where you're
BJ,
forcing
did you always
people.
think that though? Did you always think this? Because I feel like in just watching some of your content even before, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like it's taking you time to kind of get there, or did you just say, no, this is how I feel, period? Like, when was
with
it?
With which aspect?
Because when I was watching some of like your old like Britney Spears stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your advocacy there, like, I was like, okay, like, were you always feeling like I'm gonna back Britney, or was it after law school, before law school? When did some of this change, or did you just feel like, I just don't want people to be in control with under anything?
Oh, I see. So specifically with respect to like the power control type of thing.
Yes.
I think, let's see. I think I have always had a tendency to side with who I perceive to be kind of the underdog. And I think with certain situations, I kind of identify with it. So I'll see myself in like Britney Spears, for example, and I see the family dynamic and I see what's going on. And it's like, because of my own personal experience, I know that what the general public thinks isn't accurate. And so I think I've always had a close alignment to the truth. Like,
okay.
What, and I definitely went through like a period of time, like where I think I kind of was being groomed into a cult, frankly, with like not questioning certain things. And like, so there's definitely time period where I kind of was like trying to, do the right thing, but like it really wasn't in search of the truth, which I'm glad I broke away from. But I do think, like with Britney, it's like I didn't want her to be being controlled, but at the same time, it was more like I knew that what was being told to everybody wasn't true. It was a fake. It wasn't real. Like Chloe Malos was saying, there's no need to free Britney. And it's like, she wants out. And I'm
Right,
reading
right.
that they lied to get her into the conservatorship and they never gave proof. And it was illegal, in my opinion, from what I could see. And
Yeah.
so it was more like that. But yeah, I mean, in the underlying sort of problem was that she was actively in it and no one had heard from her like directly in a long time or whatever. And but I think after I went to law school and really learned where no one can shake my confidence. I know it. I know what our rights are. I know. And I know that sometimes it's gray area, right? Like I know. So it's like that unshakable knowing has allowed me to withstand a lot of it because it's
Yeah.
like, what? So what? Because she's famous, you get to talk about Ariana Grande? Yep. That's what the law says. You've availed yourself to the public. You've
Yeah.
availed yourself to our money. You've availed yourself to our opinions whenever you wanted us to care about something. So you
Yeah.
don't get to snatch back that permission when it's, oh, we're not saying something you like. That's
Yeah.
literally what the United States of America, as a whatever it is right now, is founded upon that idea that you can, you know what, about the people in charge. And
Yes.
nobody can put you in jail. And
Absolutely.
ironically, we're talking about putting people in jail for doing things people don't like, which I mean, look, listen, does Amanda RAB have the constitutional right to like behave the way she was and live the way she was within a city and stuff? I mean, that's an academic conversation, but I
Yeah.
don't think, what ended up happening was appropriate, I'll say.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. It's interesting because it's like I find myself in conflict a lot because of like my education, social work. There's this thing where it's like you're supposed to be liberal about certain things, right?
Mm.
You're supposed to, be married to everything. And then there's also this pushback that I get of like, well, does that really feel right? Or how does that land? Or like I always find myself in conflict, and I've never really shared that with anybody, but like
Mm-hmm.
inner conflict. So when I heard you do the video about kind of your law school journey and everything, I felt that because I said, you go through these things in your life and experience and stuff like that, and for me, this channel has been that it's like, okay, like this isn't my traditional government job anymore. Like I don't have to respond to anybody. This is no grant money, or this is literally just me, and I can do whatever the hell I want. And people come and go. I lose people and I gain people all the time, right? um People people are very opinionated about what I shouldn't support. Even what's interesting is like I've had people email me, well, BJ supports this but you don't support that. I love BJ, but we're two different individuals, right? Like you're going to support you, I'm going to support me, but at the end of the day I think that what has attracted me to you is that energy of like, hey, question it, and if it doesn't make sense, keep pushing it, and find yourself in that. And I've always felt like that's been the underlying message that you've provided to people.
I do believe that everybody, like, I mean, I'm not going to fully say what I fully believe because I don't want a conservatorship or jail, but I do strongly believe that all of us are kind of like of the same thing and from the same thing in a much
Yeah.
higher way. And I want to spark like people turning back onto and into themselves because truly, really, truly, the answer really is there. Like you can ask other people, you can listen to other people, you should maybe even, and all that. But like, turn it back around and just like, what is the voice in your head saying, or heart, or whatever, wherever it's talking? Because I mean, I don't, even when I started Britney coverage, I said, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. If you don't like me, it don't matter because read this paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't like, you need my opinion to read this paper that I'm showing you. No. So here you go. Read it. What does it say? Britney Spears did not get diagnosed with dementia. They checked that box and never had a doctor look at it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've said that I'm going about to be going on 5 years saying that. And I kind of, you know what, I always kind of knew. Probably like within the first couple months of like thinking if I wanted to continue making content and stuff, that it was going to be a little bit like, it's easy, right? It's the first logical fallacy they teach you in
Yeah.
logic class, ad hominem. Don't attack the argument, attack the person making the argument. So you don't have to deal with the argument. You could just deal with, so such and such as bucktooth or whatever, like it's the oldest form of argument. It's like, instead of saying, oh no, Britney Spears was diagnosed with dementia, here's the proof. it was like, you know, whatever. I don't even remember what they were saying about me. It took a couple of years before
You got there.
everyone kind of turned. Well, not everyone. Everyone didn't turn. Substantial portion of my audience still is from Brittany, and watches the Brittany coverage. But yeah, there was like, I don't know. I mean, I could get into it, but
No, but it does happen though, especially like, and I love it you said this because it's like, you know, if you are on a mission, like right now, we could all be covering Diddy. We could all fall out about covering Diddy. You know, it could, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
it's a, and I've seen it happen in various sectors where it's like, we're all covering this, but then people start turning on each other about who and what. And
Isn't that interesting how it's like a pattern?
it's part of the ecosystem, I think.
It's a pattern. It's like,
a
yeah,
pattern.
it happens.
It's a pattern.
And it used, and that's one of the reasons that I felt like you were able to withstand and like sustain talking about that. Because remember when you started talking about Lima and the lawsuit, a bunch of other people did too.
Yeah.
Like at the same time.
Where are they? Where are those videos? Because there was a lot more creators, and I remember you promoting them at some point, and then suddenly everybody's gone. I said, well, did y'all get paid? What happened? Because Lima, where's my check? What happened?
Well, well, maybe they got paid. I don't think they got paid. What I think it was that probably they got a little bit, and
Scared?
justifiably, maybe everybody had a different story, but I think at least some percentage of it was scared. Yeah. And it's like, you already kind of knew what the troll atmosphere was
I've
like.
lived it.
Because you've seen it too. Like in the stories you were covering, like you were even covering like trolling, like, you know, years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's movements, because I mean, you got to think about all the interests, private interests, government interests, foreign interests,
yeah,
corporate interests that all the theys that there are out there have for, I mean, even frankly, me and you have an interest in keeping our online reputation, you know, within a certain thing or whatever. And so I think like, think about all the interests that there are to control narratives. Think about the interests that even like a Diddy or a Jay-Z, and it's like, how hard is it for them to just link up with like a one academics and one fill in the blank? And it's like, you know,
everything gets exposed in due time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it'll all come to light. But I truly hope, PJ, that like this is the last that we're done here, at least in New Jersey. California, I don't know, like this must be also exhausting for her as well, I think, but it also makes me feel like, what else, like why are you fighting this way, Lima? Give me 1 sec, I got somebody in my door, keep talking. But that's my question, why do you think she's fighting this way?
Why do I think she's fighting this? It is something I have thought about a lot. I really couldn't. I would only be able to speculate. I don't know, because from a logical standpoint, it doesn't make sense. From an efficiency of anything standpoint, it doesn't make sense. Emotions, work, labor. Think of all the hours she wastes on this that she could spend on doing something else. It just doesn't make any sense at all. So it's like, I can then only like wildly speculate about why. I mean, maybe she's just so incensed. I really don't know. I don't know. Like, I would love to know what you think. Like, you have any theories to throw into
I'm wondering what she, like, when I think of the way that she's fighting, right? Because this is very simple. The way I see it is like, the people have questions. I know I do. Like, who the hell are you? Why is it so hard to find you? People threaten to dox me. I've had people right now threatening to dox me because they don't agree with my opinion. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Fair game, whatever. But like, why is it, if people can find information about you and I, okay, why is it so hard to find information about her? What is it? Like, why can't she answer the very base? Did you go to high school? Did you go to college? Girl, did you, like, what happened? You know?
I mean, to me, it doesn't even matter, except for the fact that she has represented in court paperwork to take like pretty important control, you know, powers over someone and having a lot of authority to make decisions for them and stuff. And like, she has represented to courts that she did attend. So if she didn't actually go to those schools or graduate from those schools and she represented to courts that she did, that's an issue to me. Now,
Right.
why is it so hard to find information on her? I mean, I don't think it is. I think there's information everywhere on her, but I think it is hard to verify some of the things that she has said. Like, like, also, where is the other twin?
Well, that's the other thing too. Like if you're going to be the face of a company that treats mental health issues and you have investors and you're doing different things of a public concern, it shouldn't be that hard to find out who the hell are
And
you.
she asked the public for money,
Mhm.
and she asked the public to sign her 2 petitions to government bodies, one to the White House.
Right.
I
Oh
just, yeah, no,
yes.
she's
I
available, and
remember that.
most of the stuff that she said that was so supposedly private information was stuff she herself made into public information, like things on guardianship filings that are public that I got off the public website. She's like, "Oh, that was private information." It's like, then why did you put it in the public document?
Right. Right.
I don't really know why it's hard to find information on her. To verify the information rather than, what she has said. I don't ever forget. There is literally not one single day that passes that I don't think about Dahlia Takali
Mhm.
telling police officers that she did not trust them
Yeah.
because she don't trust police because they don't do their job. And she's been trying to get Linda Omar arrested for 2.5 years. And that was like 2 years ago this month. I will never forget her accusing Linda Omar of estrogen, and then them taking her away in handcuffs and not even taking a witness statement. And it's like all of this sideshow stuff with the lawsuits and stuff has chilled my speech. It has
Mhm.
made me feel like they are going to violently, viciously, maliciously, and perhaps even physically attack me if
Mhm.
I tell the world about this public record. They got it removed from YouTube. They got it removed.
Yeah.
And it's like a girl is on police body camera footage saying my own mother is a S for her, and she sends men to R word me. And
Yeah.
that got removed. But you know what they let, stay up. And it's like, I can't blame them. They probably got threatened to get sued or something. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I mean, she keeps losing and I keep winning. The only thing is just it's like so expensive. It's
Yes, it
so
is.
expensive. It's been more than $500,000. Like, think about that. I don't have that.
No. Ooh,
All
BJ.
because I said they lied. They lied. She didn't die
By the
from a
way, that's
seizure
a very cute
disorder.
sweater, and I missed the purchase date on
You
it.
missed it.
I
Oh
missed it.
no. I think there's a few left. Maybe it's only, oh man, maybe
I
not.
gotta go. I gotta go get one, but I might have missed it. So I love this. I did you see I used that photo on my thumbnail because it's perfect. It's like they lied. This is, you know, they lied. All of them. That says it all. Says it
And
all.
this
And
is
then
in the United States of America, um, they can do this to you for saying the truth. Did you know? I didn't. I'm learning that every day. I didn't know. I didn't know that
Mhm.
you could just abuse somebody like this and get away with it. But here we are.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't want to
BJ,
keep you. I know you got to run.
thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for, first of all, people don't know, but you're a good person. I see it. I see
Thank
you are
you.
a good, person. You are always fighting and, hopefully people get to see all this side of you that I've seen here and there, and that I've been able to pick up energy wise.
Mm,
So I appreciate you and I appreciate you supporting
thank
me.
you.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm #1 rabbit stan over here. So
Yes.
I appreciate you too and staying the course and covering this. It is a matter of extreme public importance, and I understand that it is not without risk. So I do appreciate that, and I actually do think that everything works out how it's supposed to and for the
At
best.
the
So
end.
I'm just
At the end.
keeping keeping the hope alive.
And I didn't know that the piñata's name was Alyssa. I learned that.
It's only like, kind of recently
Cute.
been finalized. Someone suggested it years ago, and then I never
Yeah.
really revisited it. So it's kind of just like little by little, like, yeah, I guess that's, Alyssa.
I know, right? I know,
Well,
and I loved it. I love the argument. I love what they wrote about the ears, and I said, "Oh my god, I love this. This is so awesome."
and it is true. It's like not just like for fun, it's like a
Yeah.
real thing. It's like because of what I've chosen to make it look like here, I want people to know this is we're hanging out. This is bunny ears, pinata ears, opinion land. This isn't
Yes.
even like the hill, this is just I'm just talking,
Absolutely.
Alyssa the unicorn. Well, she's gonna be up there. She'll be there.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Well, BJ, thank you so much for supporting my channel and coming out.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Congratulations on all your success. You're gonna be to
Thank you.
100,000 any moment.
One day we'll get there. All right.
Bye.
Girl.
Love you, Monica. Bye.
Bye. Bye, BJ. Thank you, BJ. Awesome. Yeah. Make sure you guys check out BJ's GoFundMe, Cash App. Go support our girl. She has been amazing, amazing to me, to this channel. Y'all, I mean, support her. And, thank you again, BJ, for being you. Shout out to Prem as well. Shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. I always get I get a good vibe out of Prem and BJ. I don't know what it is. I don't know. They just seem like really authentic individuals. So shout out to them. All right, guys, I gotta head out because I gotta go tend to baby bunny, and she's literally making a mess that I gotta go pick up, girl. All right, you guys have a great one. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye.